Ehrenberg, who is the current Palm Beach County State Attorney, and Anna Schechter, NBC News senior investigative producer. Anna, it's kind of interesting that these things all have a similarity to them that is leading some people like you to say maybe there's more to this than just 4 to 6 randos taking pictures in and around a military base and Mar-a-Lago. Tell me what you've come up with.
When you go through these court documents, the similarities are incredibly striking. It's just baffling that people aren't paying more attention to this. So these young people at the naval base, it's all young men in their 20s, Chinese students who stumble upon the naval base and walk either around a perimeter fence, ignoring warning signs, or in one case, 2 students drove past a guard, ignored them, drove around the base for 30 minutes, according to the court documents, until they were stopped. And in a bizarre twist, they voluntarily turned over all of their photos. And so they kind of seemed to have some plausible deniability, but then once you dig into it and you see this pattern, it seems to some experts that this couldn't be anything other than a coordinated effort.
Sometimes these things are hidden in plain sight, Dave. In 2018, there was an op-ed written by David Wise who talked about a theory that the FBI had about intelligence gathering that doesn't sometimes look like intelligence gathering. He said if a beach were a target, the Russians would send in a sub. Frogmen would steal ashore in the dark of night and collect several buckets of sand and take them back to Moscow. The U.S. would send over satellites and produce reams of data. The Chinese would send in 1,000 tourists, each assigned to collect a single grain of sand. When they returned, they would be asked to shake out their towels, and they would end up knowing more about the sand than anyone else. What's your sense of what's going on here?
Ali, it seems that these individuals don't have any formalized training in espionage. It seems like they're lone wolves, they're freelancers, but I think the Chinese government may be winking and nodding at them so that they can have what Anna just described as plausible deniability. And for the individuals themselves, it enables them to be sympathetic figures. They can go before juries and say, we have no criminal records. You know, we're just hapless tourists. And that's why it poses great challenges for prosecutors. Meanwhile, they can go back to China and either sell their information, their street intelligence, back to the Chinese government or give it away as part of their patriotic duty.
Anna, what do you think is happening with this information? Is there anybody worried? Is the FBI worried that there is intelligence gathering going on, or does this still feel a little bit random for now?
This is highly concerning to the FBI, and top intelligence officials are taking this extremely seriously. The problem is it's hard to connect the dots on these cases, especially when you have these young people who were probably asked by someone else to go and take these photos. So they aren't, spy masters themselves, but they're part of a web of people. And this is all operating out of Beijing. Now, this is a long time coming. I lived in China back in 2001, and when I was even in remote cities, cab drivers would tell me it's our duty as Chinese people to rise up and take over the U.S. So this is many years in the making, and these 6 instances are only 6 of hundreds, thousands of efforts like this across the country.
Thank you for your reporting, Anna. Florida State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg and NBC News senior investigative reporter Anna Schechter.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.